Wow. Yeah, speaking with Hazel yesterday really inspired me. Mike, can people hear me? Yeah, speaking with Hazel yesterday really inspired me, and wow, it's just such an honor to be here. To the organizers of the Clara Lemlich Awards, esteemed award recipients, and guests, good evening. I am so grateful to stand before you and introduce my godparents, Blanche Wiesen Cook and Clare Coss. As I reflect on Clara Lemlich, just 6 years in the US and 23 years old, standing up in a meeting of garment workers and interrupting the venerated male leaders of the union movement to shout, "I have something to say," in Yiddish, I think, yes, this is something both Blanche and Claire would do. And why I think this honoring is even more befitting, both Blanche Cook and Clare Coss have spent their lives inspiring others, particularly women, but not just women, to find our voices. As a biographer, Blanche Cook has laid bare how historical figures of very different stripes, Eleanor Roosevelt, Crystal Eastman, Dwight David Eisenhower, had to break their own personal chains before they could set about working for change. In her classroom, Professor Cook has been creating the space for generations of students' voices and moving those students off their ingrained spots by any means necessary to get them using those voices. As a therapist, Clare Coss has inspired her clients to use their voices for personal growth, liberation from the inside out, the profound politics of self-realization and truly becoming the people our hearts desire. She has expanded this intensely personal work as a playwright, from the Daughters cycle in the 1970s to her current play and opera, Emmett Down in My Heart, about the lynching of Emmett Till and the struggle of the white woman who bears witness to his massacre. It is my great honor to introduce my godmothers, Blanche Wiesen Cook and Clare Coss, who have something to say. Say it. They say what they have to say, and they impress upon all of us how imperative, how valuable, and ultimately how inescapable it is to do the same. Thank you.
It's really so great to be here. It's wonderful to look out and see all of you and the fabulous choir and chorus, and know that we're in a room filled with activists. Well, how wonderful is that? It's wonderful. So Blanche and I met in 1966 at the Women's International League for Peace and Freedom to plan an action against the war in Vietnam. And we were both married ladies then. And Blanche always says she likes older women, and I wanted to ask her a question tonight. Am I old enough for you now?
Almost.
Almost. Okay. But It's been an incredible journey to be activists with our family, our friends, and building community. I worked with some youth theaters to give voice to them, and that was what I was doing in my practice for people to learn to have a free mind so they can make the right choices for their lives and for the common good. Do you want to say something?
I'm so profoundly moved to be here. I always say never go anywhere without your gang, because I'm from the Bronx. And the Purdy Street Gang and the Fordham Daggers were my gangs. And here you are. Peace Action is here, WILF is here. The Union is here. The PSC is here. And in the Bronx, my daddy was a trolley car driver and a bus driver, and I would go to Transport Workers Union meetings. And one of the great honors of my life was when the PSC, I was on a committee and I was given a cap. And the cap they gave me was a TWU cap to thank me for my union work. So never go anywhere without your gang. And there's so much to say. I don't know how much time we have, but you have something you want to read.
I do. I have something I want to read. It's the ending of a play. It's the ending of a play. It's called Love and Defiance, Scenes from the 20th Century, that Woody King Jr.'s New Federal Theater and Julia Miles at the Women's Project co-produced here in New York. It's about 10 scenes that have some connection to somebody in my life or my own connection. It goes from the Cold War in the 50s to the Amadou Diallo demonstrations of the 90s, from the Cuban Missile Crisis to Anita Hill, Clarence Thomas hearings. It's kind of a lively cascade of private moments shaped by public events. So Lynn and Dan have a relationship that started in the 30s, and now they're getting ready to go on a demonstration for Amadou Diallo, who was a young man from Guinea, and he was 23 years old, and he went down to have a cigarette in front of his apartment, and the police were cruising around, and he went into the entrance of his building and was taking out his wallet to show him the police's ID, and this one cop said he thought he was taking out a gun. 41 bullets from 4 cops, and they were not found guilty. And it's a case that's still present in all of our minds for the miscarriage of justice and the kind of crazy violence that's going on. So Lynn says to her husband, Dan, the world is a mess. You and I have failed. I've lost heart, Dan. Hey, look what we're doing today with our grandchildren. Doesn't that give you hope that they care, that they take action? I had wanted to leave the world a better place for my having been here. Hey, from the day we met at the Russian tea room, closed now for renovation, we've marched, we've demonstrated for justice, the Rosenbergs, Mississippi Freedom Summer, the March on Washington, Vietnam, ERA. It's getting worse, Dan. I feel so defeated by all the killing. Imagine what we are protesting today. A man goes down to his lobby for a cigarette. 4 cops later, 41 bullets. Too much violence, too many guns, even children slaughtering children. Lynn, our lives. We have devoted our lives to help make this country fulfill its promise. We have to keep moving forward or everything slides back. Are you ever going to trust me? I do trust you, Dan. Our whole life together, and last night you didn't trust me. I do trust you. So look into my eyes. You know what I see? What? I see Littlefoot. He's 3.5 million years old. What's he doing? He's climbing down the trunk of a tree. Now he's walking upright. He's climbing back up to a high limb and looking down on us. You should have been an anthropologist. I'm going to look away. Not yet. His foot bones just discovered in a South African cave, a creature who walks and climbs, a missing link. We came down from the trees. Maybe we'll have to return to the trees. Maybe we will, if there are any trees left. Remember, when they put the handcuffs on, squeeze your fists together so they won't be too tight. They're detaining people for 8 hours. I'm afraid you're going to have to pee. Oh, I'll be all right. Go one more time. Oh, all right. Okay, ready. Scary. Scary. Always is. Always will be.
I would like to end on a little positive note. As we say, never go anywhere without your gang. I've been fortunate to be in many gangs, including the gang that Frances Golden put together. Frances Golden, great visionary editor. She wasn't my editor, but she was a visionary friend and pal, and she did this book. Imagine living in a socialist America, a socialist USA. And I have a chapter in that book. It's called Dignity, Respect, Equality, Love. And it's possible we can achieve that. And Eleanor Roosevelt had a vision for how to achieve it. She fought for women's rights, civil rights, human rights, convinced that to end war, we must end poverty and have a universal declaration of human rights that applied to every human being all over the planet. And Eleanor Roosevelt died in 1962, and the legacy goes on. And during the 70s, there was a wonderful wave of feminist socialists that included two friends and mentors of mine. One was Dorothy Healy, who's a great activist, and we became very close in LA when UCLA was trying to steal me away from John Jay, but even though they offered to double my salary and give us a housing allowance, John Jay was really my school. And I have to say, I've just retired after 60 years of teaching. But Dorothy Healy, great activist, journalist, radio broadcaster, who lived a fighting life, said to me one day, I don't get ulcers. I give ulcers. And then Annette Rubinstein, scholar, activist, editor. Claire wrote about Annette Rubinstein, and you can look up her wonderful interview with Annette Rubinstein. But Annette Rubinstein always said, we will have socialism or we will have barbarism. And here we are. And
She always said, life is about the struggle.
And life is about the struggle. Never go anywhere without your gang.
Thank you.